Is Solana about to flip Ethereum, creating what I'm going to call Solana Autumn? We're going to look at two different things in this video. We're going to look at the charts, including a move repeating from 4 years ago, and also we're going to talk about the shifting strategies with these digital asset treasury companies. Are they shifting gears from Ethereum to Solana? Well, let's find out. Now, Solana treasury news just got two major events. The first event is going to be the new company raising $400 million for a Solana treasury. That company is a small cap medical device firm, Sharps Technology. Investors love this news. The stock is up 142% over the last 5 days. The other narrative is a $1 billion Solana treasury. This is going to be from Galaxy Digital, Multicoin Capital, and Jump Crypto, and they're reportedly working to raise $1 billion to buy Solana. Now, this is from Bloomberg, reporting anonymous sources saying those three companies are looking to form the largest treasury dedicated to Solana. They'll end up beating Sharps Technology with their $400 million strategy. Now, this is the important part. They added that the three companies have tapped Cantor Fitzgerald as the lead banker. Now, Cantor Fitzgerald, you may have heard of them because that's who Howard Lutnick used to run. Now, Howard Lutnick was the chairman and CEO of Cantor Fitzgerald, and then he stepped down when he was confirmed as the Secretary of Commerce. So if I were to guess, seeing that Cantor Fitzgerald could be the main bank working with all these companies for Solana Treasury, seems highly probable that we will see Solana ETFs get approved later this year. Now, obviously, I'm not suggesting any collusion, but, you know, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So if it's good for Cantor Fitzgerald, it's probably going to be good for the SEC. But Washington, D.C., backroom dealings aside, let's look at the charts. Now, one of the things I noticed in the charts is a huge drawdown of Solana versus Ethereum. This is Solana priced in ETH. And I think this move right here is what we're repeating right now. But you'll see that there's a huge drawdown of Solana against ETH. And if you go to that ETH chart during the same period, this is September 1st all the way until about January 1st. ETH had a huge move during this period. September 1st found a bottom and then continued to pump against all of the market, including Solana. But this is just the beginning of the move. It would later go on to keep pumping and keep pumping. Now, what's interesting about that ETH chart from that September to January period, that's when it ended up passing the previous all-time high, which is the same situation that we're in right now. But this is the sole ETH chart. I have it on log because it'll look too crazy if it's not. We had a drawdown. So Solana pumped against ETH, and then it ended up bleeding over 50%. Now, if you look where we're at right now, we just did the same thing. We just bled against Ethereum. Solana fell against ETH a little over 50%. But this next move, which was the consolidation period when ETH was hitting new all-time highs, Solana would then go on a mega rally. I said I want to put it on a log chart because it looks too crazy otherwise. This is what the regular chart looks like. Solana bleeding against ETH, finding consolidation, and then a huge breakout of Solana versus Ethereum. Your Solana would pump against ETH 400%. Now, I don't know if this move right here is going to equal a 400% pump, but I definitely think Solana is poised for a reversal. One of the reasons we're poised for a reversal is this chart pattern right here. This is what they call a falling wedge. When you see in a falling wedge, you'll see that the bottoms are decreasing, but the tops are decreasing at a faster pace, meaning trying to create lower lows, lower lows, lower lows, you start running out of steam when you're trying to make these lower lows. That's why falling wedges are typically a bullish wedge, which implies the price is likely to break through the upper line of the formation. Now, one last chart I want to show you is Solana USD. So we're looking at Solana priced in Ethereum. This is Solana priced in dollars. And right now, it looks like we're pretty clear for a breakout from this point. The way you would measure a potential move here is you would measure the maximum height or the maximum distance, and then that would give you a potential breakout target, which would give us slightly brand new all-time highs. That's a $300 Solana. But you know some green lines and you see September 17th, October 29th. These are the next times we might get rate cuts. Now, the markets are pricing in rate cuts. September 17th, it's roughly 80% odds that we're going to see a rate cut. And then if you look at October 29th, slightly above 50% odds that we're going to get a rate cut. Last time Solana had rate cuts, Solana performs very well after a rate cut. That's after September, that's after the November one, and that's after December. And all of these were in 2024. And what's wild is this wedge finds a point right there on the October 29th Fed meeting. So it does look like Solana is ready to break out against Ethereum. Now, is Solana going to flip Ethereum? Well, no time soon. The market caps are just too different. Ethereum's market cap is $550 billion. Solana's market cap is only $100 billion. And so we would need to see a 5.5x before that to pass, and ETH would have to remain totally flat, which is going to be pretty hard to do in this alt season environment. So keep an eye out on these charts. This is Solana priced in Ethereum on the daily. Does look like maybe finally going to see a little reversal. So those ETH maxis might be crying and might be seeing some tears compared to those Solana maxis. But either way, we're going to be playing both directions of the market. I'm DZ for Discover Crypto. And hopefully I'll see you in your Solana bags at the top.